watching Halton News right here on your TV. It's Monday, April 27th, and I'm Jessica Kading. Since our last update on Friday, 21 additional cases of COVID-19 have been reported in Halton and 2 additional deaths, bringing our total number of confirmed and probable cases to 491 and total number of deaths to 21. 262 Halton residents have fully recovered from the virus. The provincial government is planning a stage-by-stage approach to reopen our economy, and today they released that plan. Stage 1 will involve allowing certain businesses to reopen, as well as some outdoor spaces like parks and slightly larger gatherings of people. Hospitals will also be able to offer some additional healthcare services in Stage 1, such as non-urgent and scheduled surgeries. Public health officials will be closely monitoring Stage 1 for 2 to 4 weeks before moving to Stage 2, if safe to do so. That will see more workplaces open and larger gatherings permitted. Finally, Stage 3 would see further relaxation on public gatherings and the opening of all workplaces. At this point in time, we do not have a date set for Stage 1 to begin. The Ontario Jobs and Recovery Committee will support Ontario's recovery efforts by consulting Ontarians and developing a plan to stimulate economic growth and job creation while maintaining health and safety of the people of Ontario. Here locally, the mayors of Halton municipalities have come together to form the Halton Mayors Recovery Coordination Group. We spoke with Milton Mayor Gord Krantz over the phone for more details.
The 4 mayors in Halton here, Mayor Burlington, Marianne Mead Ward, Rob Bird from Oakville, and Rick Bennett from Halton Hills, and myself, we were on a conference call. We're talking about coordination now for the 4 area municipalities along with the region on a recovery plan and making sure that that's coordinated. Now, I don't want to mislead anybody. Recovery is not going to happen right away, but we have to have a plan for that. So this is something that we'll be able to hopefully share with the public in the future. So I refer to it, you don't take too big a step, because if you take a great big step, you're liable to trip and fall and undo everything that we've done. So it's like a roadmap. Sometimes there's a detour in that long thing, but usually that detour is the best way to get there. So, just a little bit at a time with that detour. And we might have to do that little detour thing as well on getting there to the end result.
The 4 mayors want to be clear that forming this group does not mean that the emergency measures currently in place across Halton are expected to be lifted anytime soon. The date of when recovery might start is dependent upon the continued slowing of the spread of COVID-19 and when the province decides to lift emergency orders and restrictions. Burlington MPP Jane McKenna and the Mayor of Burlington, Marianne Mead Ward, have both been working diligently to remove the label of Mobility Hub from the downtown Burlington bus terminal. Today, it was announced by the Minister of Transportation, Caroline Mulrooney, and the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Steve Clark, that there's no longer a provincial requirement for mobility hubs to be identified in official plans. This means that an amendment can now be submitted to officially remove Burlington's Downtown Mobility Hub and MTSA designation for the official plan. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced this morning businesses can now apply for applications for the wage subsidy program. The application portal opened at 6 a.m. this morning. We spoke with Wellington Halton Hills MP Michael Chong to explain what the $73 billion wage subsidy program is all about.
The idea behind the wage subsidy program is to keep people employed. We'd rather people stay employed rather than going on the Canada Emergency Response Benefit or on employment insurance. And so the wage subsidy is being given to small to medium-sized business employers in order to keep their employees on the payroll as we get through this pandemic, so that once we reopen, people can get back to work fairly quickly. So it's a up to 75% wage subsidy that the government is providing to employers in order to ensure that people stay on the payroll.
Since the portal opened, about 10,000 companies have applied. Our Prime Minister says the first payment is expected to arrive May 7th. Meanwhile, MP Chong does say that there are still gaps in government programs. The Conservative Party are working to get them resolved. Let's hear more.
One of the gaps that was brought to my attention in the last several days by local business owners was for businesses who don't have any documentation of their previous quarter or previous year's revenue, because they just purchased a small business at the beginning of March. So there's been a couple of small businesses that I know that were purchased by new owners just before the pandemic broke out, and they do not have the business records from the previous quarter or from the previous year to demonstrate their drop in revenues. And so they are being missed by the current small business program. And so we brought this to the attention of the government. We're hopeful that in the coming days, the government will tweak the program to help those small businesses out as well.
The region of Halton is taking extra precautions to protect their workers. Curbside blue box, green cart, and yard waste will continue on a normal schedule, but bulk waste collection is suspended until further notice as it puts workers at risk of contracting COVID-19. If you need metal or appliances picked up, you can still have that arranged, but you must make an appointment in order to do so by calling 311 ahead of time. Please note that all spring waste events have been canceled until the end of June. That includes Spring Sunday openings, special waste drop-off days, and the spring compost giveaway. You are asked to donate to a local food bank instead if you are planning to participate. The Halton Waste Management site continues to operate Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., but physical distancing measures are in effect and you should expect longer than normal wait times. It's also important to note that staff cannot help you carry any items during this time, and the reuse depot remains closed. You're asked to not leave donations at any community donation bins, as most have stopped pickup and collecting for the time being. And now a feel-good story. A Halton Hills teen is rolling up his sleeves to help his community by printing face shields at home. Melissa Candelaria with more.
It feels great to be able to get all these out and going.
This is Austin Horton. He's 15 and doing what he can to help frontline workers and Halton Hills residents in need of face shields. Austin has printed over 60 shields so far. He says it was an easy decision to offer his help and expertise.
When I first saw the call for help online, I realized I had the materials and the resources, so I started getting ready and started printing just to try and help out.
And that call for help came from a Facebook group called Halton Hills 3D Printing Maker COVID-19 Response. Michael Yingbull is the creator of the group and says Austin is a great addition to the team.
I think actually when I connected with Austin and his family, he was already trying to figure out what he can do and trying to print, looking at some of the ear savers and the like that were already starting to circulate and people could hear about, which was fantastic. And then at that time, we had a real need to try and get face shields out because the normal supply lines for face shields, if groups or clinics didn't have them in stock, they can't get them. So we started printing them and being able to have them so that there's something that those people can use to help look after all the healthcare that still happens.
Now, making these face shields can take time. Austin says it's almost like a full-time job.
First, we'll get the filament, usually from a source like Amazon. Once that filament arrives, we'll let it sit for a little bit just to decon. Then we set up the printer and print, which each print's about an hour. We can get about, I'd say, at least over 100 prints out of a single spool. So we'll print until the day goes out, and then we'll start up the next day until it's time for pickup, at which all the prints are picked up and we resume printing.
And no one could be more proud of what Austin is doing than his own mom, Krista, who says it's the least they can do to give back to the community.
I just think if there's anything that we can do, it's great to contribute, and it helps with the social isolation to be able to help in any way that we can, whether it's cutting fabric for gowns or anything. There's lots of little things that can be done, and if you have the ability and you want to help out, there's lots of groups out there that are looking for people to help.
It's been a couple weeks since the Facebook page launched, and organizers and participants like Austin have printed almost 300 masks with no sign of stopping anytime soon. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.
With the COVID-19 social distancing rules in effect, families with seniors that are living on their own have been becoming increasingly concerned for the health and safety of those loved ones, as they can't check in on them the same way they used to. A Burlington-based healthcare technology company called AceAge is hoping to alleviate some of this stress with their medication dispensing device, Carry. I spoke with the CEO earlier today and started by asking him what inspired him to come up with this concept.
So I started this company 5 years ago after watching my grandfather go to the hospital over and over again because he wasn't taking his medication properly. And so the inception of what we built was to allow someone to manage their medication independently. And in a time like this, it's never been more relevant because people that typically would have a nurse, a caregiver, or a family member come to their home on a regular basis to organize their pills, to help them take their medication or remind them, that is no longer recommended under these social distancing measures. And so our device that makes it really easy to take your medication properly is now going to be able to help a lot of people maintain their independence while providing their family members peace of mind that their loved one is taking their medication properly.
Well, it certainly sounds good in solving a real problem. Can you explain how exactly it works?
Sure. So your pharmacist will deliver to you a preloaded cartridge that has all of your medication inside of it. So say instead of receiving 12 different pill bottles, you get one cartridge with everything loaded inside of it. And when you bring it home and you stick it inside the back of your device, and that's all you have to do, because the device will automatically schedule and notify you when it's time for each dose of medication. And there's just one button to press. When you press it, the medication you need pops out at that exact point in time. Really easy to use.
Now, one thing that I noticed about it that seemed to put it above and beyond any alarms you could set for yourself is that it actually will notify family members if the person forgets their medication.
That's right. If you forget to take your medication, you take it early, or if just your family member wants to know that you're taking it, the great thing about this product is that it connects you to your care circle. That whatever's happening, they're aware so that they can provide you encouragement when you need it most, or at the very least just have that comfort and peace of mind that they would want to have knowing that you're taking your medication properly.
Okay, so for those who are interested, how can they get their hands on one of these products?
I'm very excited to be able to announce that we're now available in all care pharmacies across Ontario. So they're rolling it out. You can go to carepharmacies.com or their online brand, MedNow, www.mednow.ca. And what they're doing is to contribute to social distancing is not just having people come into their stores to pick up their medication, but they're offering free delivery. So you can get a device that's sitting on your countertop. Care Pharmacies and MedNow will automatically or they will deliver your medication to you that's automatically scheduled, automatically organized. So you can stay at home, have your medication delivered to you, and take it properly really easily.
Thanks for being with us here on Halton News. We do need to take a short break, but we have a psychiatrist addressing the issue of depression during the crisis still ahead, and your local weather forecast is up after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Halton News. Stronger Together was a concert put on last night in an effort to support Food Banks Canada, and the Burlington Food Bank is an active member of that group and is incredibly grateful for the event and all the donations that were made as a result. They've been seeing an increase in the number of deliveries to homes lately and a decrease in the number of people showing up at the food bank as they've been encouraging contactless free delivery. The Executive Director, Robin Bailey, had this update for us today.
Hi, this is Robin Bailey, the Executive Director at the Burlington Food Bank, and I hope all of you were able to watch the Stronger Together concert last night. I enjoyed it, and we just want to thank all of those artists and athletes for their support of the food banks across the country, one of which is us, and so we really appreciate your support. Also the support that we've gotten from Feed Ontario. We got these emergency food boxes in, and what it's doing is allowing us to add to what we're giving out to families here in Burlington. So they get one of our normal hampers that we're building here, as well as one of the hampers, if not more than that, depending on the size of family, that we got from Feed Ontario. So we're trying to distribute a little bit more to the families so that they don't have to rely on food banks quite as much, at least not quite as often. And so we really appreciate our partnership with both Food Banks Canada and Feed Ontario, and especially the support that we've gotten here in Burlington. So thanks so much, and we continue to do what we're trying to do. And we saw a great increase again in the number of people that we're delivering to, and a drop in the number of people that are coming to our door. So we really appreciate all those people that are listening to us. Stay home, stay safe, and we'll make sure that we do the contactless contactless delivery for you.
If you're in need of food or know someone in Burlington who could use the help of the Burlington Food Bank, you can email info@burlingtonfoodbank.ca or call 905-637-2273 to make arrangements to have food dropped at the door. Let's take a look now at our local weather forecast. The sun was shining today. The sun was shining from behind those clouds today. I hope you were able to enjoy it, as there is plenty of rain in our 5-day forecast. Starting with tomorrow, that's a 60% chance of showers. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds and a high of only 8 degrees. Warmer again by Wednesday, but cloud cover Wednesday through Friday expected this week, but getting increasingly warmer as we go through the weekend. Into the weekend, up to 18 degrees as our high on Saturday, and that's when we'll see that sunshine back from behind those clouds. In local business news, Promation, an Oakville-based machining manufacturer, is 3D printing medical face shields for our frontline workers and has figured out how to manufacture them using a method that takes significantly less time. By partnering with a local laser cutting company and a network of their other colleagues, Promation is facilitating the production of 650 face shields per day. North American stock markets rose around 1.5% on Monday as governments start to discuss ways of creating a roadmap for reopening their economies. Here's a look at some of those closing numbers. Thanks for being with us. We need to take another short break, but we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us here on Halton News. I'm Jessica Kading. The COVID-19 pandemic is impacting us all one way or another and taking a toll on our mental health and well-being. Dr. Ashok Bhattacharya is an Oakville-based psychiatrist who has a particular interest in post-traumatic stress disorder and interpersonal sociology. He's been offering us insights, tips, and advice to help us get through this crisis. In today's clip, he discusses depression and how it can come from this current situation.
Hi, this is Dr. Ashok Bhattacharya speaking to you from Oakville. In April during the COVID pandemic. So today I want to talk about depression. What holds us up? Our mood is held up by what's going on inside our minds, but also outside our heads in our life. Now in our head we have a brain, and we have brain chemicals that can affect that. We also have our mind, and we have our emotions. So we can react to things that are happening in our mind, but right now we're also reacting to a lot of things outside of our heads. So what about our health? In the example of these balloons, our health is a very important balloon to hold us up. There's another one, which is finances, and our love relationships, and family relationships that we have, personal status that we might have lost right now during the crisis, but most importantly, our attitude. That's a big balloon. So if we have a lot of air in all of those balloons, then maybe our mood is not going to be so bad. But for most of us, we're probably missing one or two. That's when we need to rely on each other. So depression is the consequence of loss. This is when we start to lose a balloon. If we can notice this and let somebody else know, especially someone close to us, maybe you can rely on them to help put some more air in our balloons. It's time for cautious, positive attitude, to be optimistic during this time, even though there's a lot of bad things going on. It's important to know that there are other people who can help you. You can also help yourself with a positive attitude. That can make the difference during this difficult time.
And now let's take a look at some upcoming virtual events. The Government of Canada launched a new portal dedicated to mental wellness on canada.ca/coronavirus and the Canadian COVID-19 app. Wellness Together Canada provides tools and resources to help Canadians get back on track. These include modules for addressing low mood, worry, substance abuse, social isolation, and relationship issues. If you're an adult in immediate need, text wellness to 741-741. If you're a youth, text wellness to 686868. If you need help, someone to pick up your grocery or pharmacy items for you or other urgent goods, you can call 647-873-2230 and a volunteer will safely help you get what you need. If you'd like to participate in the program and help those in need, please visit the Good Neighbor Facebook group online. The Milton Chamber of Commerce, MP Adam Van Couverden, MPP Parm Gill, and Mayor Gord Krantz and the town's Economic Development Department have teamed up to provide a series of free virtual forums to help provide clarity, direction, and advice in these challenging times. 2 very successful forums have already been held, the first addressing business assistance programs and the second one on matching PPE supply and demand. The Oakville Chamber of Commerce is also hosting a Zoom conference call on Wednesday, but at noon, 12:30, it will be live streamed on our YouTube page. You can register to learn more about virtual medicine in a pandemic lockdown by visiting oakvillechamber.com. And now a look to where you can find factual and timely information on COVID that you can trust. Official websites maintained by the Halton region and each municipality. And now we'll take a look at what's coming up tonight on your TV. We have our schedule for Burlington and Oakville here. Return to the table with Julia Hanna for those of you who want to be inspired with your cooking dishes at home. That's coming up at 7 o'clock, followed by Smart Car Confidential with James Burchill. And Let's Just Do This is with Margaret Wallace Duffy, followed by Paradise Road for those of you who want to listen to some music. If you're in Milton and Halton Hills, we also have Let's Just Do This, but that's at 7 o'clock, followed by Get Legal with Samantha Glass, Real Estate Simplified with Seth Ferguson, and Local Matters is on tonight at 8:30 with Councillor Mike Cluett. We'll be back with another edition of Halton News live tomorrow night at 5:30. In the meantime, we invite you to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and Instagram at YourTV Halton. You can also visit our website at yourtv.tv for more stories or email us at haltonnews@cogeco.com. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Kading, and I'll see you tomorrow.